If you have evidence that is relative to this case, that could even remotely alter the outcome of it, it is your duty and obligation, especially you considering yourself a journalist, to send that information over to the investigators. You know, the ones that are licensed and credentialed and certified to do the investigation. It's your obligation to do that. Do you understand the consequence? I don't think she understands the consequences of withholding material evidence or documentation that she somehow got a hold of and refuses to turn over to the investigators for an open, pending, active murder investigation spearheaded by the FBI. You can't make this up.
Of Terrell. They don't believe what time text messages were sent or when the phone calls took place. You know, Rob McCoy is lying. In the areas that you can control the transparency, I think doing that would be beneficial to Turning Point USA, because I don't think Turning Point USA is going to survive if they continue down this path of, you know, Tyler Boyer late night tweeting at donors as he did over the weekend. I think he directed his fire at like John Mappin and Arena Mappin, called John Mappin a loser. I don't think that that's the correct messaging to come out of Turning Point USA. And there's something that my husband always says to me, and I don't know if he got it from somebody else, he probably did, but the expression is the market is always right. The market's always right. He says it's about like trading and things of that nature, meaning irrespective of what your opinion is or what you think you know, the market is the market. So maybe the top execs at Cracker Barrel thought it was brilliant to change the marketing, and they brought in the highest paid advertisers to do that, and they thought it was sleek and it was amazing. The people revolted, and they said, we don't like this, we don't trust it. Put that old man back up there. We want to see the Cracker and the Barrel, or we're out. And guess what? The market was right. That's kind of the point of the expression. The market is always right. And the market right now is saying we don't believe a single thing that happened that day. We do not trust the...
Yeah, but Erica Kirk doesn't care about you and your cult followers saying that we don't believe everything. Now, I've questioned some of the information that I felt was left out of the probable cause affidavit, but that is based on not only the evidence, but just logical reasoning and deduction. If you have a murder that occurs involving a weapon, a specific type of weapon, and you're saying all these cameras captured what was going on the roof, but it doesn't really state when the gun comes into camera view, meaning none of the surveillance cameras picked up when he took the gun out the bag and put it together. If that happened, it leaves too much room to assume. But I can say, you know, I would like to see those gaps filled in and a complete timeline to show at least at what point when Tyler was on the roof, did he actually get the gun out, and what surveillance camera picked that up? That was my only question with that. And even if you want to say there are others involved here, you still need evidence to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. You can't just say there are others involved. Would it hold up in court is the question. And nothing Candace has presented would hold up in court. It would be speculative at best. At worst, defamatory. She's just blaming any and every person. So you can't just accuse people of committing a crime like that. And you don't have evidence. Once again, the idea of obstruction is becoming a very real possibility for her.
Donors at Turning Point USA, we've got no messaging about whether those donors were removed. We want Turning Point to hit hard the people that are lying. Why are we getting this dance around the Catholic topic, which again did not come from America? Okay, it's not come from America. And I would imagine there are a lot of people who are speaking in your ear. That's what it means to become to wake up one day and be the chairman and CEO of a major company. But people are going to need clarity on these matters, because it doesn't feel like those snakes are out of the garden. That's what it doesn't feel like, I would say. And so, yeah, I would say in every aspect that you can be transparent, which doesn't involve the feds, I would do that. I look forward to obviously watching the interview that is going to premiere in 2 days on Fox News with Jesse Waters. I will certainly be watching. Now, speaking of a lack of transparency, I am everyone right now when I say that Kash Patel is the most embarrassing human in the United States. Embarrassing for 2 reasons. One, Charlie.
I'm floored at her thinking that Erica Kirk should just catch all this heat because Candace is the only one making these dumb allegations with no evidence. There's no evidence to show that he completely changed his views on being pro-Israel. There's no concrete evidence to show that anyone else was involved in the actual assassination. She can't even relay a tip properly without it being a matter of someone paying that person to send a tip to her. She has no way to vet her tips. And then she just kind of throws things out there. I mean, where are these tunnels? Once again, that was underneath Charlie, underground. Where are those underground tunnels? Are you going to sit here and say to the people, y'all, please don't go to that campus digging up the ground trying to find these tunnels? That was my presumption. But no. She actually has influenced people to go to the campus, to the university, trying to find these so-called tunnels. This is the level of recklessness that is going to bite her in the ass when she goes to court for the Macron lawsuit. Defamation is all about that malice intent component, where you're having someone make these provable false statements with a reckless disregard for the truth. And this is it right here, the epitome of her recklessness, that are leading to people getting death threats, people going to this school, disrupting the kids' ability to learn and exist and be free from all that nonsense on campus. Parents aren't paying tuitions for them kids to have to be subjected to people out here looking for tunnels and stuff. It's not necessary. People have been doxxed. She has done so much evil, vile stuff. And you think Erica Kirk is supposed to take some heat because you putting out these dumb conspiracy theories? You know, the communistic bees are just, a buzzing. It's getting cold, people. Might want to trap those communistic bees while you can. She's the only one putting all these wild, dumb accusations out here with no evidence. Why should Erica Kirk feel the heat of that? Because Candace Owens. Why should she? She doesn't have to assume anything. And I'm so glad Erica Kirk is not responding to this.
Kirk was a big supporter of